Hello, everyone. Good evening. So, we are back with a new session. And thank you so much for all your love and support. And finally, I'm feeling better today. And so, we're back with a bang. So, today again, we will be revising for the upcoming RPSC exam. Yes, are you all ready? Good evening. Good evening. Hi. And thank you for joining. So if you're new to our channel, then please do subscribe. And if you are watching our channel for the first time, then please do like this video. You can share this video and please do subscribe. Okay, great. So now let me start by sharing the screen. Yes. The screen is visible. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Please like this video and welcome to our fourth session of Vallath RPSC revision. Okay, yes. Good evening. Good evening. Are you all ready? Let me see once what you all are saying in the comment section. I'm much better today. So, yes. All right. Let's move on to the first question for tonight. Okay. Who wrote a preface to Joseph Addison's 1716 comedy, The Drummer? Tell me, who wrote a preface to Addison's 1716 comedy, The Drummer? Tell me, who wrote a preface to Addison's 1716 comedy, The Drummer? This preface was written by the essayist Richard Steele. Richard Steele wrote the preface to Joseph Addison's comedy of 1716 called The Drummer. Called The Drummer. Okay? Yes? Got it? Great. Have you all liked the session? Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. A Red, Red Rose is a 1794 song in Scots by Dash based on traditional sources. Who wrote the song A Red, Red Rose? Tell me you all know this. Tell me who wrote A Red, Red Rose? It is by the Scottish poet Robert Burns. Robert Burns wrote the song A Red, Red Rose. Robert Burns was also known as the Ploughman poet. Robert Burns was also known as the Ploughman poet. Okay, right. Choose the wrong statement about the Westland. So here I have given you some statements about the Westland by T.S. Eliot, and you have to tell me what is wrong here. Eliot originally considered entitling the poem He Do the Police in Different Voices. And in the original manuscripts, the first two sections of the poem appear under this title. In his notes, Eliot credits Western's work of comparative religion, from ritual to romance, with inspiring the plan and a good deal of the incidental symbolism of the poem. Sanskrit quotations from the Hindu Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, part of the collection of texts known as the Vedas, occur throughout the first section of the Westland called the Burial of the Dead. And this poem is divided into 5 sections. Which statement is wrong here about T.S. Eliot's The Westland? Tell me, what is wrong here about T.S. Eliot's The Westland? Just give me a second, I will have some water. The Westland by T.S. Eliot is a very important modernist text that you all should know. Yes. Here the third statement is wrong because Sanskrit quotations from the Hindu Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, part of the collection of texts known as the Vedas, occur throughout the final section of the Westland called What the Thunder Said. So, statement C is wrong because the Sanskrit quotations from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad occurs throughout the final section of the Westland called What the Thunder Said. Called What the Thunder Said. Okay? Yeah. So this option C is wrong. No Sanskrit quotation is there in the first section. It's all there in the last section of the poem called What the Thunder Said. All the other statements are perfectly all right about T.S. Eliot's The Westland. Okay? Next question. Go for the call, you shepherd, from the hill. Go, shepherd, and untie the wattled coats. These are lines from which poem? Tell me, because quotes will be there. Quotes are very important for all the exams, right? Quotes are very important for all the exams these days. Yes. These are lines from the poem The Scholar Gypsy by Matthew Arnold. Go for the call, you shepherd, from the hill. Go, shepherd, and untie the wattled coats. These are lines from the poem The Scholar Gypsy by Matthew Arnold. Okay, got it? Great. So, as you all know that from this 8th of December, we're starting our new IELTS batch. So, you can enroll, right? Because IELTS will open doors for many opportunities abroad if you want to apply abroad at the universities. IELTS will be needed, right? So, you, if you are planning to apply abroad, you can apply for this course, right? Yes. So I hope all of you have liked the session by now. Hmm? Are you all following? Okay. Let's move on. Okay. The Eve of Saint Agnes is a romantic narrative poem of 42 Spenserian stanzas set in the Middle Ages. It was written by Dash in 1819 and published in 1820. Who wrote The Eve of Saint Agnes? It's a romantic narrative poem of 42 Spenserian stanzas. And the setting here is the Middle Ages. Tell me who wrote this romantic narrative poem called The Eve of Saint Agnes. It's in Spenserian stanzas. It was published in 1820. Correct. This is by John Keats. The Eve of Saint Agnes is by John Keats. It is by John Keats. Okay? Right. Dash defined the function of criticism as a disinterested endeavor to learn and propagate the best that is known and thought in the world. In his 1865 essay, The function of criticism at the present time, he argued that criticism's role is to remain independent from practical, political, or uh, religious biases, to create an intellectual atmosphere for new ideas to emerge. This disinterested approach allows critics to see things as they really are and to spread these true, fresh ideas, which is essential for the flourishing of creative work. So, who talked about criticism as a disinterested endeavor to learn and propagate the best that is known and taught in the world? Obviously, it was Matthew Arnold. Matthew Arnold talked about criticism as a disinterested endeavor to learn and propagate the best that is known and taught in the world. And he talked about it in his 1865 essay, The Function of Criticism at the Present Time. Yes. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of a recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. This is a quote from which Shakespearean play? Tell me. Yes. Tell me. This quote is from which Shakespearean play? Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day. Correct. This is a quote from Shakespeare's Macbeth. This is a quote from Shakespeare's Macbeth. Okay, right. Chalo. As you know, quotes are important. Dash is the first novel by Ernest Hemingway, following his experimental novel in fragments in our. It portrays American and British expatriates who travel from Paris to the festival of San Fermin in Pamplona and watch the running of the bulls and the bullfights. Which novel is it of Ernest Hemingway? It is The Sun Also Rises. The Sun Also Rises is the first novel by Ernest Hemingway, following his experimental novel in fragments in our time. And this novel, The Sun Also Rises, it portrays American and British expatriates who travel from Paris to the festival of San Fermin in Pamplona and watch the running of the bulls and the bullfights. Okay, The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. Next, Vikramor Vasyam is a five-act Sanskrit play by Dash, who lived in the 4th or 5th century CE, on the Vedic love story of King Puru, Pururavas and Apsara, and an Apsara named Urvashi, known for her beauty. So, who wrote this five-act Sanskrit play, Vikramorvashyam? This is a play on the Vedic love story of King Pururavas and an Apsara named Urvashi. Who wrote this play? It is by Kalidas. Vikramorvashyam is a five-act Sanskrit play by Kalidasa, who lived in the 4th or 5th century CE. on the Vedic love story of King Pururavas and an Apsara named Urvashi, known for her beauty. Okay? Vikram Urvashiyam, it's a 5-act Sanskrit play by Kalidasa. Oh, okay. The Charter Act of 1813 extended the British East India Company's charter for 20 years, ended its trade monopoly in India, and asserted the British Crown's sovereignty over India. Key provisions also included allowing Christian missionaries into India, providing a yearly grant of rupees 1 lakh for Indian education and literature, and giving Indian courts more authority over European British subjects. So, is it true or false about the Charter Act of 1813? The Charter Act of 1813. These acts and commissions will be very important, both of pre and post independent India. Correct, yes, all these are true. The Charter Act of 1813 extended the British East India Company's charter for 20 years, ended its trade monopoly in India, and asserted the British Crown's sovereignty over India. Okay? And also provided a yearly grant of rupees 1 lakh for Indian education and literature. Okay. The Ego and the Id is a prominent paper by Dash. It's an analytical study of the human psyche, outlining his theories of the psychodynamics of the id, ego, and superego, which is of fundamental importance in the development of psychoanalysis. So, who wrote the ego and the id? Who wrote the ego and the id? The ego and the id is by Freud. Freud wrote the ego and the id. It's an analytical study of the human psyche, outlining his theories of the psychodynamics of the id, ego, and superego. Okay? The ego and the id. It's a prominent paper by Freud. Teresa de Lauretis organized the first queer theory conference in 1990. True or false? Teresa de Lauretis. I'm sure you have all heard this name before as well. Yes. Hmm. Correct. Very true. Teresa de Lauretis organized the first queer theory conference in 1990. Okay, true. It is the mind that maketh good or ill, that maketh rich or happy, rich or poor. For some that hath abundance at his will, hath not enough, but wants in greatest store. Who wrote these lines? I can give you a clue. These lines were written by one of the contemporaries of Shakespeare. Now you can guess. Sir Philip Sidney, Edmund Spencer, or the University Wits, or Sir Francis Bacon, or Ben Jonson, or John Donne. It is the mind that maketh good or ill. These lines were written by Edmund Spencer in The Fairy Queen. So these lines were written by Edmund Spencer in The Fairy Queen. They can obviously ask you quotes from important texts like this, like Paradise Lost, The Fairy Queen. Okay, these are very important texts. So those lines were written by Edmund Spencer in The Fairy Queen. Immature poets imitate, mature poets still. This is a quote from which poet? He was a 20th century poet, a very major poet of modernism. He wrote many critical essays, propounded many important concepts. This quote is from T.S. Eliot. Immature poets imitate, mature poets steal. This is from T.S. Eliot. And in almost all the exams, you will see quotes keep coming from T.S. Eliot. So it can be important. Okay, so that's all from our side for tonight. I hope you like this session. I hope you like the questions and the discussion. And tomorrow, hopefully, I will be much better than today. My fever has subsided, but I still have a sore throat and my nose is blocked. That's why I have trouble breathing, because I'm breathing through my mouth primarily. But yes, the medicines are working. Hopefully, I will be better tomorrow also, right? So on that note, uh, let's let's end the session tonight, and I will see you all again tomorrow at 9 p.m. at our Vallath channel. Please keep studying, okay? And I will be back again tomorrow at 9. And please like the session. Bye. Take care. Good night. Okay? Bye.